Hey, Greg, Joe Chats on Tap Sportsnet. Thank you so much for the time. 2 wins in Florida. A team seemingly gets out of it without injuries. From the outside, that looks like a successful trip. What was built for your team in that trip, and needs to be built over these next few weeks out of the season?
It's the start of a process. Every year has its own process. You follow this path, and you hope throughout the course of the year you continue to improve. And it was setting the foundation. I think first and foremost, the guys came in good shape, and that helped. And then the intensity in training was high. So, you train and then you want to put it into practice in the games, and we were able to apply some of the things we were working on to the game. So from that standpoint, it was successful. You've mentioned no injuries. That was also successful. And now this week in Chicago, the 9 days is phase 2. We want to continue to build the team as we prepare for the opening game.
Hey, Coach, Jim Alexander, Rio Talker. What have you seen from the new guys, the new additions so far? I know it's been a short sort of time, but sort of giving you idea of the imagination what you can do with some of the new additions, especially guys like Robin and the big signings.
No, they've been good. They fit right into the group, and they've helped give us depth and give us strength in the squad. I think we have a deeper squad than last year. You can see that already. And all of the new additions coming in really, improved the level of the team.
Alex Campbell from CHGO. Greg, kind of backpacking on Jim's question, how much of a different experience is it for you to be welcoming new guys into the squad as someone who's now been here for a full year when you're not a new guy yourself? How's it been a different experience for you working with those new signings when you're not making the same adjustments they are?
We've seen the continuity in the squad. The players that were here last year and the staff that was here, you can see there's comfort, familiarity with working together. And then when the new guys come in, it's not that many, but when they come in, they seem to pick right up to speed. Whereas last year it was starting from scratch basically. So that has helped, but it also helps the mindset of the group. To have this edge and this intensity, so early on in training is important.
Hello, Adam with LMD Media Group. Just how does the experience added in the midfield with Robin and Anton just play a part on the field and in the locker room? And what are your expectations for both of them as veteran players?
You can see the routine in both of them, and they both have different ways of affecting the group. Robin has been there in the key moments, able to score goals and able to be very clinical around the penalty box. Anton's been a vocal leader, also someone who works tirelessly and is able to get around the pitch with ease. So both of them have shown already to help the group.
José Gudiño, Conexión Deportiva. Coach, there are rumors that MLS and Liga MX teams could join the Copa Libertadores in the future. Do you see that as realistic? And if it happened, would you view it as a real growth opportunity for the Chicago Fire and obviously for MLS?
Yeah, I think first and foremost you have to earn the right to get there. So however you qualify, it means you're winning something or you're doing extremely well. And we'd love to be in that conversation. Right now, we're not there. For us, it's about continuing to build and continue to compete. I think it would be a great opportunity for MLS teams. I think the travel could be an issue, and you just have to work around that. A Wednesday night game in Rio is complicated. But stranger things have happened. For us, we want to be testing ourselves against the best possible teams in the region and then throughout our hemisphere. So it would be nice to think about playing against some of the top teams.
Coach Hernan, La Fiera Deportiva. I want to give you 2 questions. The first one is how you see Chris Mueller and David Poreva, who just came in for injury and being out of the squad. And the second one is probably if they will have the opportunity, because now you have more deeper squad and more options to play in the midfield?
It's great when you can welcome players back into the group, training and competing. And Chris and David are two examples of guys that have had a tough 2025. And now they're back training with the team, and it's up to them to see how far they can go. We know that they've been helping us so far, and it'll be interesting to see how they continue to do so.
Teresa Limon from Chicago Fire Radio in Spanish. Coach Gregg Berhalter, what balance were you most intentionally about when you were trying to build this squad for 2026?
I think we needed some maturity in the team. We wanted to bring players in that could add to that experience level. We wanted some high potential players. We wanted players that can help the squad immediately. We knew we were going to have to get better defensively, so players that can help us improve defensively. And then, when we lost Gouty, we lost 10 goals, right? So it's how do you replace that 10-goal production? So, looking at all those factors was important. And lastly, we wanted to create competition in each position. We thought it's very important for players to have to compete against their teammates to get on the field. And we think that competition will makes the squad stronger.
Two more questions in the room. So Liz. Hi, Coach. Liz Jimenez from La Grande 107.9 I would like to hear your opinion about Gouty. You lost a man that it was on your 11th starter or also as a change. Who will take that place now? And if you can tell me more, any comment about this moment that is leaving Gouty now in Liga MX with Chivas and the Mexican national team?
We always thought that Gouty was ready to take the next step. He's been at the club for 16 years, a long time. He's done an amazing service to this club. He's always going to be welcome at this club. But in terms of the stimulus and the growth that he needs to continue on his career, we thought it was a good idea to pursue a different environment. And you see how well he's doing, and he got a call up to the Mexican national team, and congratulations for that. And for us, I think it's a win-win for everyone. So he's at a different level now where he's just having to prove himself. And we got funds that enabled us to bring in players like Anton and Robin and Bokazi. So it was a great transaction for everyone.
Alex.
So, Greg, last year, you talk about the goals for last season and coming in, and it was, the team hasn't made the playoffs in 7 years, and obviously that's the big, kind of bulletin board sort of thing. How is this preseason different than last one, given that this team has expectations on it, both internally and from what other teams around the league are going to expect when they play you guys, as compared to maybe where you were a year ago?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's how do we improve on everything from last year, and start to be in the conversation of a consistent playoff team. And for us, we have high aspirations. And year two is no different. We want to continue to improve throughout the year. We want to compete to win every single game. And it's pretty straightforward. If we could do those two things, we'll be in a good spot.
Okay, we're going to move to Zoom. Please raise your hand. When I call on you, please unmute. We'll start with Tim.
The new players that have been brought in. One that was brought in last year that we didn't get a chance to see on the pitch was Victor Radojevic. He also, hasn't been able to join the team in the first two preseason games. So when is he going to be expected to be able to take those first minutes either in, MLS competition or preseason with the team?
He's working hard, and there was a little complication with the procedure he had. He had a couple setbacks. We've had to take a step back, reassess, make sure that we can strengthen and prepare him, for the workload. And it's been frustrating for everybody, none more so than him. And he's working, doing everything he can, to get back on the field and join us.
Anyone else on Zoom? Alex.
Hey, Coach, you can hear me?
I can. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going? Good?
Good. Thank you.
I Awesome. I'd love to ask about two players who are not signed but who are with you at the first phase of preseason. Jack Sandmeyer, what your first impressions were of him and what your expectations are going to be where he's going to be on the field this year. And then also Hugo Berg, what the experience was for him to be with the first team in training camp.
I think both of those players did really well. Jack, it's interesting to see, he's a competitor. He's great on set pieces. He's aerially dominant. Getting up to speed with the pro game. He adapted pretty well. With Hugo, he's a young player, big potential. And, it was fun seeing him navigate through a preseason with the fitness demands and the intensity of training. But they both did fine.